Previously on the Frontier Farmer. So my first port of call is getting this area transformed into something a little bit more useful. And there we go. I've placed our bakery. We have a wood storage area and storage for some of the other ingredients that we're going to need to make bread. And over here I have placed a couple more sheds. So first of all, we need the stuff for bread dough. And I'm going to start with flour because we have some of that at our windmill. We can get that unloaded there. There we go. Let's head on down to the distribution centre and we have a long list of shopping to get. Alright, that's all loaded up, so let's lash it all down. So we are in position. Hopefully we can load milk. So we've got some bread dough and then we've got cookie dough. And we can see our bread is baking and also our cookies are baking. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Frontier Farmer at the Dark Forest. We're now in February. As you can see, we've had quite a kind winter this year. Just a dusting of snow and a little bit of frost. So that is quite nice, and it's going to mean that we can crack on with some more winter projects today. The first is inspecting our new bakery, which we built last month. And that's been busy making dough, but unfortunately, because we needed to make the dough first before baking, we haven't made much bread or cookies yet. So the plan is I'm going to get the ovens opened up and we can load all of the doughs that we have been busy making into there and get that cooking today. So as you can see, we've got a lot of bread and cookie dough made, so we're going to get that stacked into the oven and baking away. So we've spawned some bread, so we can start to launch that into the oven to bake. And we're down to our last 2 bits of bread dough, so we'll get that loaded in. And then we can get the cookie dough loaded as well. It's a bit tight in this bakery, it's only a small kitchen. There we go. Right, cookie dough's out, and I think this is a bit quicker to transport because there's quite a few on each plate. There we go. And the last one will get loaded in. There we go. And close the ovens to make sure to keep it nice and hot in there, but it's a bit of a low and slow exercise today to get it cooked. Right, whilst that is cooking, we can get on with other projects. As you can see, we've moved the bread and cookie dough from the outgoing and back into the bakery. And we've got quite a lot of bread dough and quite a lot of cookie dough. So we are processing the baking of bread and the baking of cookies. So we'll leave the bakery behind for now and close up. Hopefully that will all cook very nicely. So the plan for today is we're going to crack on with some logging. We seem to like doing wintry logging, and it's a perfect opportunity for us to utilize the time where we're not doing any farm work. So I think we're going to start to clear out this area next to Tim's shed. And well, I say shed, it's actually quite a nice log cabin. Shed doesn't do it justice, but we are going to be leaving Tim a little bit of cover so he's not going to be overlooked, and a bit of a back garden as well. So this is the area which I've marked out with my trusty shovel for us to clear, and it goes all the way through here to the rock in the distance. And as well as clearing this space is going to be for our next field. I think we're also going to see about setting up a watchtower on the top of the hill, so we can keep an eye on the homestead and into the forest, make sure there's no dangers lurking. And if we get some time, I'm thinking that I might be placing some more sheds behind the sawmill here, and we can place some more of the logging focused equipment there. Oh, I can hear Tim busy whirring away in the sawmill there. And this is going to really help because our log stocks are running pretty low in the wood storage yard. So we need to keep our sawmill operational. So I'm going to go jump in the skid steer, and that's got the tree cutter on it. Okay, so we'll jump in the Massey. Started up first time. It's been a little while since we used this. Last time we did some logging, that was quite a long time ago. We can grab the buzz cutter on the front. Now it looks like it needs a bit of a refuel, so we'll just go to the oil drum over here and get some diesel. There we go, nice top up. Right, we'll get the beacon on and over to where we're logging, and then we'll also need to get the skidder as well. And we'll follow this little track down to where we're going to start, and this will be a nice little gap area for us to access our new woodland area. And I think I'm going to keep a line of trees, just so keeping a bit of a border between each area. Right, let's get the skidder. Skidder is nicely parked on top of our gravel stocks, so yeah, let's spin round and get over to where we're starting. This is going to, as per usual, winch out all of our logs. So I'll aim to cut down in probably sets of 4, and then we'll delimb them, clear the stumps, and then drag them out and put them in the wood storage yard as we go. Super. Right, not much left to it apart from getting started. So we'll switch on the old buzzsaw and go in and start cutting some trees down. Okay, so we have cleared this area and I've got the last 5 logs laid up now. But you might have noticed as I was cutting this last segment over here, I've seen some sort of fenced off area. Now I've not noticed this before, but it is a little bit eerie because I thought we were the ones that were founding the frontier here at the Dark Forest. But it seems like there's this fenced off area here. It looks very primitive in its build. Some very basic and well rotten planks. So this would suggest that someone was here a good time before us and they fenced off this perimeter. Now the trees are grown inside of it, so I'm not really sure what to make of it. It's probably been here a very long time and there's no building or anything to it, but there is a gap left for entering here and on the other side. So yeah, it looks like potentially some old burial ground or some sort of area that was sectioned off, but there's no building, there's no indication of anything on the floor to suggest it is that, but it's a very, very eerie sort of thing to find. It's behind Tim's log cabin, so I don't know if he was aware of it. Yeah, just something that we found. I think it's probably best we don't disturb it. Don't want any bad karma to come our way in the Dark Forest. Yeah, what an interesting find. Luckily, hopefully we're going to get the watchtower set up later today and we might be able to keep an eye on things such as that, because yeah, we don't want any bad karma or dangers to come to us at the Dark Forest, so we will leave that very much be. But we've got our 5 logs from the last segment that we cut down in that area to put in the wood storage yard, and we've got quite a collection. We have pretty much restocked the bottom row at the wood storage yard, so that is good. And after this, I think we're only going to have a few more trees to cut down to make space for our watchtower. So we will go and do that, but let's get these logs deposited in here. It's worked quite efficiently this afternoon. Now the area we've cleared is not huge. It's probably about the area of field 4, which is at my 2 o'clock, where we've got our grass growing. So yeah, it's not a sizable field, and I don't really want too bigger fields on the frontier until we are well established. And yeah, we could look to sort of merge some fields together or whatever else, because it is a very large undertaking doing all of the logging. It does often take a good day to get everything cleared up, and it's also very repetitive doing the logging task, so I want to make sure we sort of build fields bit by bit, and each year we potentially cut into a new area. But yeah, we will see how we get on, and I'm thinking that this area is going to be good for us to mow up and plough into a new field and grow something. We've talked about drilling some oats because our horses are going to need it. So yeah, this area here, not too shabby at all in terms of the field size. Just got a rock to contend with, so we'll have to steer well clear of that. Now I think up the top of the hill here is where we are going to put our watchtower. And before I do, I should probably mention that we did collect up 2 of our logs, which we cut down to make space for our road. Of course, when we were constructing the road, we had to cut a few trees down, and I think I've just spotted some further back this way, which we might as well collect whilst we've got the skidder out. I don't know if it's 1 or 2. Looks to be potentially just 1. We'll probably grab that, but we won't go to the wood storage yard. We will just grab this one and wait nearby where we're going to build the watchtower, so we can collect up some more of our trees from that. And yeah, because of proximity to the field, I think I'm just going to cut them down by chainsaw, because I don't want to be driving into the field too much, so we'll damage our grass. So we can hop back in the skid steer and get this parked up because we are done. It's very handy, this skid steer. Because we are lacking modern forestry equipment, it is really handy to have. Cuts down trees pretty quickly, but of course we still have to do the manual de-limbing, and we also clear the stumps by hand. We could go and grab the stump grinder, but it seems to always be quicker when we do it manually, so that's not too much of an issue. Right, cutting blade can go there, and we'll spin around. Very manoeuvrable, this skid steer, which also makes it very good for the forest. And shut down. Right, so we want to be thinking about placing our watchtower. So I'm going to have to use the skidder just to carve a bit of a track up to the top of the hill. And then I'm going to cut down a few trees to make it so we can look out onto the homestead. I don't want to cut all the trees down, but I do want a good view of the homestead so we can keep an eye on things, keep everything safe. It is a bit uneven up here, so I'm going to have to do some levelling as well. So let's just have a quick see what we need to do. So this seems to be the central point, so we're going to cut down this tree, and I'm going to cut it down this way, so it's going to fall to the right, and yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to avoid, it catapulting itself too far off. Right, the skidder's got its work cut out to drag this tree back up the hill, but we'll get it de-limbed. Oh, I'm quite high up. We have a nice wooden ramp up there, but yeah, we don't want to leave trees in and around where we're going to have our watchtower. Clear the stumps away. And I'm going to get busy cutting a few more trees down, so we've got a bit of a view onto the homestead. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. You can see most things, the sawmill, the bakery, the dovecote, and as far as the log cabin and our fields. Don't really need to see too far left, and again I don't want to disturb Tim's privacy. And of course this way we can see through some of the trees in the forest, but yeah, we don't want to be cutting down loads of the forest so we can see into it. So next thing is getting our stumps cleared and de-limbing so we can drag all of these trees back up to the wood storage yard. So let's just get these chopped away. And the trees de-limbed. Oh dear, this one did venture into our grass field just a tiny bit. I don't think it's damaged it, luckily. De-limbed now, and that's a much clearer view through to the homestead. I'm going to have to see about winching up some of these trees because I really need to winch them from the larger end, otherwise they could snap. But yes, oh, turn it on. Hopefully we are going to be able to winch it. I think it's caught on that rock there, which is a little bit annoying. I might have to give it a bit of a shunt. See if I can get it free. I think that's done it. Hopefully can pull it up the hill. Oh, this skidder has got some good horsepower. Doesn't seem to struggle at all. That's pretty handy. Right, I'm going to get all of these logs stashed away in the wood storage yard. And then we can see about levelling that area and creating our watchtower. Stash that one. I think this is the last log from that area, so we'll get that stashed. And then we're going to head over and just level the top section. So we've got a good foundation to set our watchtower on. Now this is too steep for our grader, so I'm just going to use the skidder to help me level this off. Okay, I think that area is level enough. So we should be able to create our watchtower. So let's gather some of the building materials and get it built. There it is, sitting proudly, and it should give us a good base from which to keep an eye on the homestead. We can certainly see a good amount from up here. So the watchtower is going to help to keep the homestead nice and safe from any dangers in the forest, which is fantastic. Right, I think we can probably crack on with building a few more sheds near our sawmill. So I think we're done with the skidder for now, and we can park that up. It has done a good job restocking our wood storage yard. We've got 195,000 litres in there, which is fantastic. Right, so it's on to another landscaping and building mode to get some more sheds placed here. And there we go, we've got some more sheds constructed, and I've really opened this space out. We've got rid of the natural grass that was here, so we still have a good bit of a sawmill yard behind here where we can load up materials. We have some sheds, so we can put some of our logging equipment in here, and these sheds are quite long, so we can get some of our smaller trailers in there. And I've used the modular shed approach yet again, because it seemed to work really well wherever I've used it. So these are multiple sheds stacked next to each other, and we've placed the outer walls on, but I have left the in-between walls as bare, so we can navigate between them if we need to. So that's pretty fantastic. I can see our watchtower there in the distance, and a deer. Maybe we can do some hunting from there. That's going to give us some meat. But maybe I should leave the deer, because we do have pigs, and so we have a source of meat if we need. Right, last job of the day is checking in on our baking and see how much bread and cookies we've got. Smells good in here. So it looks like we've made 585 units of bread and 636 cookies. So let's get some of that extracted and we can get it loaded up into the baskets. Yeah, we got 5 loaves of bread out of that, so we can put that into the basket. There we go. Stores quite nicely in there. There we go. That's all loaded in. And we've got a good amount of bread in there, but not a full basket by any means. So we'll keep baking. And our cookies. So the 600 litres equates to 3 jars by the looks of it. So we can get that loaded into our basket. And oh, we're looking a bit better on the cookie front than we are the bread front. I guess that's because these are a bit smaller, so that is pretty handy. Superb. They're about a third of a way filling up this basket, which is pretty good. But yeah, we've got some bread and some cookies now to keep us fed for the rest of winter. But it's not been a particularly harsh winter this year on the frontier in the dark forest. It has been quite forgiving. There's a bit of snow on the forecast, but I have seen that in March it is set to be nice and warm, so I don't think we're going to have anything setting. Right, I think we'll just go check in on the cows, give them some TMR, because yeah, we need to keep them readily topped up. Turn on the international. We can get that unloaded in there. Oh, they actually took quite a bit. We've got 3,400 litres left, so we'll have to do another TMR load at some point. But all the animals are looking pretty happy and healthy. But we do desperately need to get some oats drilled in the new year. So yeah, look forward to March when we can hopefully get on with the groundwork in the area that we cleared next to Tim's log cabin. And we can get that ploughed up and start to drill something. And then hopefully, I don't think it's going to be in March, but maybe in April, our 2 grass fields are going to be ready to mow and turn into hay or silage. And we'll probably get a new baler in the new year. I think that is the plan. But that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. All that's left to say is, I hope to see you again next time on The Frontier Farmer, and until then, I'll catch you later. Cheers all, and bye bye.